Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's recap is for Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2022. Wednesday, August 3rd, 2022. Today's Young and the Restless was, to me, that middle of the week kind of lull. Not too much happening. I mean, we had Sally and Chloe talking in the office, and guess what? That was Sally's power work outfit from yesterday. That's what she's wearing at work today. When she first got promoted, she changed into a complete executive wardrobe. I don't know what is going on right now. But anyway, she needs to switch back. But watch what's going to start to happen. Sally wears a lot of in a workplace inappropriate attire. She wears a lot of attire, especially when she was trying to attract Adam. A lot of black lacy things, see-through pieces here, there, and everywhere. Watch, Sally's getting ready to get right back to that to attract Nick. So transparent. So anyway, she's talking to Chloe and they're talking about, she's saying there's some events that are just missing from the media coverage of Ashlyn's death. And Chloe comes in talking about, oh, she can't stand the reporters, the vultures, the this and the that. And Chloe reminds her, hey, that's us now. They're trying to get a unique twist or inside scoop to the story. That's what we need to do. But the problem is, Sally's not realizing I work for the Newmans. So everything that we put out as Newman media must be approved by everyone, okay? So Chloe makes the big mistake of giving some insider scoop that Kevin gave her about there being an altercation at Victoria's house. Ashlyn was there, Nick showed up, and Nick hit him. Well, see, Kevin also has to learn to keep his mouth shut because Sally is just running with that. And she went straight to Nick and she kind of cornered him with the news of what she had heard. And he says, oh, no, you need to squash that. Don't even bring that up because that light doesn't need to go on Vicky and this, that, and the other. But then she's saying, well, but you hired me for a reason and they're going to look, when things do come out, they're going to look like we don't know what we're talking about. Well, no, they're going to look at Newman Media like any other media company. They never publish their own negative stories, their own, dirty linens. They don't. So Sally needed to leave it alone because once Victoria finds out, once Victor finds out, it's going to be a problem because Nick in the end told Sally, well, it's your decision. End of the day, you're CEO of Newman Media, it's your decision. Well, end of the day, no, it's not. And Sally's going to find that out the hard way. That's my predictions on that. Now, Devon and Nate, see, they were already a powder cake already because realistically, Nate still holds Devon, has a grudge or distaste for Devon about ruining the nerves in his hand after he hit him. See, that hasn't really gone away. And yesterday, I thought Devon was being extra harsh, but today, Nate was 100% being extra sensitive. See, at the end of the day, Nate is still subordinate to Devon and Lily. And after the debacle, they had a meeting. Amanda was there. They're doing it at Society, a neutral ground, because at the office, they were clashing earlier. And so they have the business meeting that goes pretty well. But then Devon asked them, okay, what's the PR department doing about the double booking of our artist? And Nate says, oh, they're handling it. I don't know about you, but they're handling it is not a good answer. See, handling it, that was a blanket over the top kind of answer. Devon wanted to know specific actions. They're doing this, they're doing that. They've already reached out here and they've reached out there. Nate didn't want to give any. Oh, you don't trust me? You don't trust that I can handle this? I said they're handling it and that's not good enough for you. And Devon is just like, oh my goodness. So Amanda says, you two need to work this out. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you to it, which was a big mistake because they can't work it out. They seriously can't. And what Devon is saying is, look, you're in a whole new arena, a whole new field. And this is what he was talking to Amanda about, Devon. He said, we gave him a high level position too early. He has never worked in the business sector and it's starting to show. And I thought about that. And I thought, you know what? Devon has run a company way longer than Lily even. Devon could not suddenly, just because has been he's run his own company, CEO, whole 9 yards, go into a hospital and be the CEO of a hospital. Two different animals, two different fields. And Nate feels he has the authority. He's learning, but you know, it's a playing field that he can learn as he goes. But this is a brand new company and things need to go very, very smoothly. He does need some type, and Devon said, maybe we need some type of business training or whatever word Devon used, and all that set Nate off. So Nate ends up saying, well, you know what? I left Elena at home. She's back. And I'm gonna go and spend some time with her. Now, one thing that Amanda kind of let Nate know that she was concerned about, he says, oh, Amani sent you the files. Amani told me she sent you the files. And Amanda looked at him, she goes, wait, when did you talk to Amani? And why are you in conversations with Amani? And he goes, no, we were talking about the facility that her mom is in. And she had a couple questions, or I had a couple of suggestions. And then it turned into that. And she said she sent the file. And Amanda was like, yeah, okay, thank you. That was a great facility and X, Y, and Z. But it's so interesting. He's not talking to Amanda about the suggestions he gave Amani, which was interesting to me. So now he's in such a rush to get back to Elena. He goes to Crimson Lights to make him, get some coffee for him and Elena. Sharon notices he's in a mood. And Sharon, it's funny, she is like the psychiatrist. You know how at a bar or a nightclub, the bartender hears everybody's problems? That's Sharon. The barista is hearing everybody's problems and she loves it too. Well, what's going on with you? You seem a little down. Well, yeah, I know you missed Elena. I mean, Sharon just goes on and on. So he says, yes, and I'm taking these coffees to her where I'm getting ready to go meet her now. And he gets a text from her and he texts Elena, I'm coming home early, and she sends a heart and it's on, right? Well, guess what? His phone rings and it's Amani. And he goes, Amani, you shouldn't be working, because she told him some kind of work question or answer. And he goes, you shouldn't be working. You're supposed to be there with your mom. She goes, oh, my mom is sleeping and I'm bored. I need company. And Nate was putting cream in both him and Elena's coffees. The lids were off. And he goes, oh, you need some company? Well, I'm going to be just that company for you. He takes his coffee and he sits down. And the camera clearly shows the lid for Elena's coffee to keep it hot is still on the table. He just left it there. And I thought, well, so much for really trying to rush home to the love of your life, Elena. He should have told Amani, oh, well, you know what? Listen, I can't talk. Elena's home and I got to get to her. Nah, Elena didn't come out of his mouth. Not in the least. Not in the least. Let's see. I want to get to, okay, Nick and Sharon. Finally, Finally, Nick goes to talk to Sharon, the one he should be talking to over Sally. And they meet at the park, and they actually have a very, very, good talk, because he feels that Victor has manipulated the situation, and he feels that he should know the truth as to what's going on. So, Sharon, it was more of a sounding board, because she knows how Victor acts and reacts to certain things. So she doesn't put anything past Victor. But Nick is just still gnawing at him and eating at him. So at least he was talking to a sensible soundboard that does know him, and that is Sharon. So we have quite a bit of time today. The show spins with Phyllis and Summer. See, I'm really starting not to like Phyllis. And I liked Phyllis. Phyllis was snazzy, snappy. Phyllis was attitude, always something exciting going on with Phyllis, right? Well, Phyllis is working her daughter. I mean, really running rings around her, manipulating Summer. And in the end, it's going to completely, absolutely, positively blow up in her face. And her daughter is going to stop speaking to her for quite a while, okay? Because Phyllis is just, oh, but it'll be so great us working together, mother. Diane and I won't even see each other. And Summer is just falling for it, not realizing what just happened, not even an hour before they got to the top of the tower. Phyllis was showing her behind. Oh my goodness. And how quickly Summer forgets. And she's just, oh, it would be nice, Mom, us working together. And Phyllis is painting this picture, and I might be selling the Grand Phoenix. Lily made me a phenomenal offer, and going on. And Summer's like, really? And so it ends up, she keeps coming back. Oh, and then Phyllis starts talking about Diane. And I'm thinking, see? And Summer says, Mom, you're talking about Diane. She goes, well, Diane is on my mind. Of course, I'm going to talk about her. And I'm thinking, now, how are you supposed to work in a work environment, Phyllis? You're a walking contradiction where Diane is concerned. And you would mess up your daughter's brand new company, a huge accomplishment, to be in on this plan with Nikki and Ashley. That is going to end so bad. So then at the end, Summer says, yes, when the time is right, I am going to talk to Kyle, but I cannot make you any promises. I can't. And so Phyllis is like, well, listen, no, of course. There'll be no hurt feelings if I don't, if I don't get it, none whatsoever. When have you ever known Phyllis not to have hurt feelings? And not to wear her feelings all over her sleeve, her head, and everything else. So I'm not looking forward to what's going to happen in that storyline at all. Please tell me what your comments are. What do you think about it? What do you think's going to happen with that? So now it's time for comment corner. I love my comment corner. Now let's see, Mary says, Sally, don't forget who you work for. See, that's what I said. Nick told you not to dig into this, and she's going to dig. She goes, Sally, you should listen to your COO. What she's not going to. And then Mary says that Nate is a rookie. He needs to sit back and learn something. I agree. I absolutely 100 agree that Nate needs some kind of training. And then Mary says she's so sick of Phyllis and Diane. Please stop. I'm getting pretty sick of them too. And then Anthony says the actor who plays Ashlyn Locke, the character is dead. And I saw this interview as well, Anthony. The actor came onto YouTube and did a great farewell saying thank you to all the fans. That Ashlyn Locke is dead on the show, and the actor saying goodbye. He was moving back home to his hometown to where his family was, and he's actually doing a theater. They're doing a theater production in his hometown. As a matter of fact, he gave himself a little plug at the end of the YouTube, letting us all know what the name of the play was and where it was going to be playing at. So Ashlyn Locke is actually dead, which I knew Ashlyn was dead. So let's see. Then I've got an answer to some of the trivia. Remember, I said, what was some of the awful, awful things that evil Kevin did, right? Early, 10 years or more ago. And Monique said he set the Newman cottage on fire with Noah. And she said, and Esme, I don't think there was an Esme on the Young and the Restless in it. He locked Colleen in a freezer. Now, here's the thing. He locked Colleen in a freezer, but that was at Gina's place. It was a restaurant called Gina's Place, restaurant kind of like lounge thing, Gina's Place, and it was none other than JT, a young JT Holstrom. He came in, and I will remember that scene like it was yesterday. The fire had been put out, and there was no sign of Colleen's body or Colleen, because nobody knew 100% that Colleen was there, but somehow I think JT knew she was there. And he's yelling in this smoldering wreckage of a fire in the building. He's yelling out, Colleen, Colleen. And he gets to where the freezer is, because that's the only thing that did not burn down. And he opened it, and because Kevin had locked her in this freezer, so she's freezing. And JT takes her out, and he's carrying out Colleen out of this wreckage. And I tell you, I was so happy, because we didn't know if Colleen survived or lived or died in that. But Kevin had such great pleasure in lighting that place afire. As a matter of fact, I went on YouTube and I saw the scenes of him lighting Gina's Place on fire. And that was the name of that restaurant slash lounge. And then, yes, he was, what do you call it? He was catfishing Lily when Lily was only 16 years old, 15 or 16. Kevin was definitely already older. And he talked her into meeting him at his place. He was supposed to be a photographer, wanted to take pictures of her. He had this lingerie for her, and she really didn't want to put it on, but she did. And then they didn't show Kevin sleeping with Lily, but we knew that he did. And like a few days later, Lily finds out she was given an STD, and she had to go to her mother, and Neil and Lily and Neil and, oh my goodness, Drusilla found out. And then it took a minute for her to give up Kevin, because I don't even think she knew Kevin's real name at the time. I think he was using a fake name when he was catfishing her online. But Kevin, he was not good at all. Great job, Monique. Great memory. Excellent memory. And then Monique also says that Victor makes situations worse. He really does, in the name of protecting his family, but he just goes in and makes it worse. Yeah, okay, so that's it. That's comment corner for the Young and the Restless. Excellent job. Let's hear some comments. What did you think about today's episode on the Young and the Restless? I will be back tomorrow on Thursday, August the 4th, for Thursday's daily recap.